multiplayer may not be included in my feature guides due to intense and heavy lag by my damn it! Ah, God. Hello everybody, this is a recreation of my Mount Blade guides from before. I'm going to start off this guide series actually with a review of Mount Blade Warband. I know this is kind of late because Mount Blade Warband was released quite a while ago, but I haven't seen any very distinct reviews and a lot of guides on YouTube as of this moment, so I'm thinking I'm going to do this right now. So Mount Blade is a strategy RPG third-person hack and slash trade sandbox game. Yeah, it's a lot of games put into one. It's a very, very good game. First off, of course, you see very bad graphics. I do have it on lowest graphics setting right now, but it doesn't get much better than this. Not a lot anyways. Mount Blade is a very low graphics, low budget game. It came from a indie producer. Well, an indie producer at the very start. I have been playing Mount Blade for a very, very long time. I knew them when they were at like version 0.75 or something like that. And it was really, really old and really, the graphics were not that good. But this gameplay just makes up for everything. So over the course of this guide, I'm going to talk a lot about the gameplay in this vid. And yeah, hope you enjoy. Yeah, okay, win a battle right there. Change my stats, yeah, stuff like that. So Mount Blade is a sandbox, medieval sandbox hack and slash game. It's a very versatile game in both the controls and the versatility inside the game. You can be a merchant, a king, a thief, a archer, whatever you want to be. Kind of like Grand Theft Auto of olden ages, except more, it's a sandbox game with a lot of things you can do inside the game. It's more strategy oriented than normal sandbox games where you're just by yourself. In Mount Blade, you can explore cities, recruit people, go to different villages, improve relations with either lords or villages, explore all kinds of areas, attack a bunch of people. So right now I'm just showing you me starting Mount Blade. I already know what to choose, so I'm just quickly choosing all the options. There's all kinds of things you can do. Like any RPG game, you can buy equipment, buy armor, buy things for yourself. You can also level up and upgrade. Of course, naming myself Jimbo Wahoo. Okay. There is a whole bunch of a lot of things that you can do in Mount Blade that's very fun, and it will add to your game experience. So I like this game a lot because it lets me do a lot of things. First of all, just the character creations. There are so many templates to create your character. Right now I'm just fiddling around with the beards and the things like that, but there's a lot more you can fiddle around with than just the beard and hair. You can fiddle around with like facial features, and that's like totally awesome. So Mount Blade, of course, involves a horse. It's very most of the time it involves a horse. It's both single-player combat and team combat. You can control a bunch of men, and you can also fight for yourself. Like right now, you can see me in the third-person view. There is a first-person view, but it's not very good, so stick to this when you play the game. It's very good. You see, you fight a whole bunch of people like bandits and lords and things like that. So you don't really hear it right now because I turned the music off, but when you actually play the game, you find that the music is very good. It's very cinematic. If you saw my intro, that is just a snippet of what Mount Blade music sounds like. There's whole bunch of like orchestral music for every single situation in Mount Blade, and that makes like killing people just more epic. And yeah, it's awesome. It's an awesome game. And you can do a lot of stuff in it. So right now you can see I'm, of course, fighting a bunch of bandits here with my horse. The thing about Mount Blade is it lets you fight on foot combat, and there's also horse combat. The horse is indeed very hard to control. It took me, I don't know, like 4 or 5 weeks to control the horse. But once you get the use of it, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Of course, the graphics is not good again, but the gameplay is awesome. Another thing I like to mention is the AI, which is like when people play Mount Blade, they think the AI isn't very good. I play Mount Blade with AI set to maximum. I do agree the AI isn't splendid. Like, for example, ranged people, like people with crossbow, once you get close to them, they switch their sword when they could just fire a crossbow in your face, and you know that would have killed you right there. They switch to their sword or something like that. Of course, there are AI like problems like that, but it makes the game, it makes it easier for you as a player to like exploit those things and one-on-one or 1v100 people. And that's actually, Mount Blade is a very skill-oriented game, and if you're good at playing it, then you can easily take on 1,000, 100,000 people, you know, all at once and kill them all because you're just that good. I'm just randomly throwing some knives. Yeah, there's 6 different kinds of weaponry in Mount Blade. Well, more than 6. I'll talk about it later in my later guides. You can not just fight, but you can also be some like merchant. You can buy and sell different goods, travel around the map, do all kinds of things in Mount Blade, and fight all kinds. Okay, so this is Mount Blade multiplayer. I'm probably not going to do a lot of multiplayer things later on in my guides because Mount Blade, I'm not a very big fan of multiplayer. It is fun, but because my computer lags this much and my internet's not that good either, I'd rather not play multiplayer. And the single player campaign is enough for the $15 that you pay for this. It's very, very good. And the other thing about Mount Blade I'd like to mention is that it's not just one single player campaign where you play the campaign and then you finish. There's, you know, like I said before, all different kinds of professions you can take, but also Mount Blade is very easily modded game. You'll see me later playing more different mods. My favorite mod is Prophecy of Pendor, and what mods do is they basically alter the gameplay in some way, or alter the map, or alter the troops or units, or perhaps like change the whole Mount Blade, the whole Mount Blade map and universe that you play in. It's very, very fun. Even if you do get bored of the native thing, I just got killed again. Even if you got bored of playing it native, you can play a bunch of different mods. And those mods are very, very fun, very, very versatile, and there's no, okay, I have played the original Mount Blade. This is Warband. If you play the original Mount Blade, there's actually a Star Wars mod, which is, I think, pretty awesome. I do play Warband right now because I think the animation is more realistic than the original Mount Blade, but that's just me. Warband does give you, from the original Mount Blade, an extra oomph. It gives you better graphics, it gives you better controls, better, like, more realistic, you know, sword swinging, arrow, axe, things like that. Just better in general. There's no reason to play the original Mount Blade and not play Warband, aside from the fact that maybe the original Mount Blade has more mods. But don't worry, if you're concerned about that, there are 50, like 60 different mods on Warband. I'm maybe just exaggerating, but there are a lot of mods on Warband, and they're all very, very fun. And if you do decide to play this game, it's very addicting to play, just like any sandbox game. There's a whole bunch of things you can do, kingdoms you can join, kingdoms you can manage, be a king, be a merchant, like I said before, I'm repeating myself, be a thief, things like that. Lay sieges on castles, just the whole medieval experience. You just get the whole experience of medieval life. There's even like relationship with lords. You can marry, you can be a lord yourself, like taxes from the villages, recruiting villagers to become men, things like that. You can so the thing about Mount Blade is that it's very versatile, and later on when you get to play, it's not just the single player combat, there's also the strategic element of Mount Blade, where you control hundreds upon hundred. Maybe if you got a good like attack modifier mod, you get thousands of different, you know, different people fighting, and that's very, very fun. You can like change up all kinds of things. I just died again. So yeah, if you do decide to play Mount Blade, it's a very, very fun game. I hope you buy it, or I hope you at least try it out. This is Jimbo Wahoo, and I'll leave you to it.